All right, Daniel, fit check. Let's see what you're
Yo,
rocking.
Max is mad. All right, we got the FUBU button up. We got the Uncle John's Trailer Park Gym tank top. Stole that from my dad. FUBU shorts, socks, dog on the socks. What you got?
We got the Walmart T-shirt that's
Yeah,
big and makes
yeah.
me look. Whoo,
Yeah, he joinked. He looked like Lord Humongous in this bitch. Yeah.
We got the Target jeans. They're
Yeah.
cuffed.
Oh, he's a little bisexual.
Cuffed
Okay.
with the khaki Yeezys.
Oh,
I'm looking fitted.
I'm
looking fitted today,
That's a
dude.
fit. That's a fit.
But the real question is not where did you get your fit? The real question is Max still mad?
I mean, sort of,
Kinda.
a little bit. He's not that mad.
He's really not, and he never seems to be. Unless mad means crazy.
Yeah, well, I think it means both.
He never comes across as that angry, though.
He gets angry at times. I think he was probably the most angry in the last one.
Maybe. He
Not
just
really.
seems more vengeful though than angry.
Yeah,
he's not that angry, but he is crazy.
Right. So I guess maybe it just means crazy, because I feel like when I think mad in an American accent, I think angry. When I think mad in a British or Australian accent, I think crazy. Oh, he's mad.
Oh, he's
like
mad.
That means crazy, you know?
Right.
But
he is still mad.
You know what I'm saying? He is mad. He yells at those little feral kids because they talk stupid.
They do talk
But I get it. I'd
we'll
yell
get
at them
there.
too.
We'll get
they
there.
thought he was Jesus. I'd get pissed too.
Tina Turner's in this movie.
Was on some Life of Brian shit. Yeah, she is. Rest in peace.
Mel Gibson's in this movie. He never did anything wrong.
He's still in this movie. No, I don't think he has any controversial views about a certain group of people.
And I love him.
Yep.
And everything he stands
for. Home too. I don't know about that, but I do like Daddy's
But he's never
Home
said anything controversial. If he had, I'd for sure retract that statement.
But he was in Daddy's Home too,
right? Which is why I love him.
And in that movie, he said he's got to go drain the lizard.
Yeah,
that's a good peeing from his penis.
That's a good one. Look at Mel Gibson just inventing great terms. You know what I mean? Just inventing really interesting and creative terms.
He's really good at. He's very creative. You know, he's got a very creative vocabulary.
Yeah, he's just got a mind for creativity that most people don't have.
And also, he wears a weave in this that makes him look like
he wears a mullet weave.
It's a mullet weave. Yeah. Also makes him look like
before we jump into the discussion, I want you to right now.
Yeah, this movie disgusts me.
I want you to right now find a kid who you know, who's probably going to be in like middle school or whatever, who just talks with like the brain rot slang.
Sure,
you know, your skibbities, your
skibbity Rizzler,
Fortnite,
any little iPad,
little iPad brain rot kid.
Yeah.
And I want you to force them to watch this entire podcast. They'll probably fall asleep by the end because of their tiny little attention spans.
Yeah.
But I want you to force them to watch the whole thing. Because it'll be good for them.
I'm not gonna advocate for children watching this podcast. Me personally.
True. Excellent point. Find an adult you know that's like that though.
Yeah.
Because you got one. It's like a weird uncle or a cousin.
Yeah.
And
I mean, someone like some, you know,
young nutty,
someone like our buddy Josh. You
right.
know, if you've got a Josh, if you're a regular listener, and you've heard us describe our buddy Josh. You know, if you remember him from back in the day when he was a host. You know, if you've got a Josh, send this to him. Make him watch this whole thing.
In the day.
Come on, they were listening. You saw the numbers our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We don't have a consistent audience.
We do. We got one.
There is probably at least one person who's consistent. Yeah. Daniel's dad. I want you to Daniel's dad, listen to me right now. I want you to send this link to Daniel.
Wait, come on, man.
And that's how we're gonna know. We're gonna know that you watched it when Daniel gets the link sent to him.
Right. You did that bit before, and he actually did it. So
did I?
I'm
Can't.
sure
I
he's
don't
going
remember
to do
doing
it.
that
Yeah.
bit.
You absolutely
but
did.
Yeah. So
but we'll
and
get
also
there.
like this if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, all of that nonsense. If you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever, go ahead and rate the podcast, leave a review.
Add it to your library, whatever.
If you're listening on YouTube, because we have a lot of people doing that, just to the audio version of the podcast, there is a video version available. You can watch us ramble.
No, it doesn't add much really, but you can look at my.
But we move and you can see the movie going on.
I talk with my hands a lot. Yeah, Dalton's got the movie playing. I've got some cool semi-pro signs.
I'll glance over occasionally like this at my goldfish just to see what he's up to.
Right. Sometimes you'll see me take a sip of beer or possibly energy drink if I'm.
Sometimes you'll see me start like smoking a chopstick or something.
Right, that happens more often than it should.
Or like a pin.
You can see the box from my my Yeezy Boosts on top of a. You can't really see it, but it's I don't know, like a box drum, I think it was called.
I've got 380s coming in soon.
My dad gifted that to me.
Yeezy 380s coming in soon, so that's exciting.
Nice. You should light them on fire when you get them.
If currently you're watching this and you're like, man, why have they started
when are they going to talk about the movie? Why are they just talking about nothing?
Shut up.
Go fuck yourself.
Shut up.
How about that? How's that for an idea? Make your own podcast.
Right. You get into
start
the movie
your own
quicker.
Start your own completely original podcast idea where just you and a buddy just talk about a movie.
Yeah, start your own original idea
that no one's done other than us. We're the first people to ever start a podcast.
And you can call it the barely professional.
Right. The sort of qualified
the sort of qualified movie episode.
Yeah. Maybe call it the call it blue number video. Maybe call it Mrs. Saturday
TV show
book. That makes more sense than what I went with. Yeah.
Anyway, Mad Max 3 Beyond.
Comment down below if you hate us and want us to stop doing this.
Yeah, if you're watching now and you hate us, your hate is definitely.
We need inspiration to keep doing this, so keep hating us.
Right. I love doing.
Keep hating. Daniel. I'm almost finished.
I love doing this podcast because every now and then I hate it, and I always think I hate it. Here's the thing.
I think I hate it until I don't do it, and that's like, wait.
That's no, that's not even where I was going. But that is true. But I hate it because I'm like, okay, we're just watching these movies, and then every now and then, God hands us a Beyond Thunderdome.
Right, we get Beyond Thunderdome. Sometimes Mad Max. He's just mad.
Right.
He's just Max. Sometimes he's just a road warrior.
But sometimes he goes beyond.
Some rare occasions he just goes way beyond the Thunderdome. I mean, just completely nowhere near the Thunderdome.
No, he's not even close.
He is in the Thunderdome at one point, and they kill the man with Down syndrome.
We'll get there, though. It was so sad. This movie is also super sad.
It is legitimately, in a lot of ways, in a lot of different places, a very sad film. It's also awesome.
So how does this movie start?
Sam Raimi schlock. I don't know.
But I did plot breakdown last week, so it's your turn.
Oh shit. Okay. So it's Mad Max. He's got his cloak, and at this point, he's got a little like desert face wrap
and the mullet.
But we don't see that yet because it's covered up by the hood cloak thing. But he's chasing some camels
and a cart that are his, and his monkey's in it.
The camels and the cart and his monkey were taken from him. We don't see that, but but there's a plane that's also. I don't know how the plane was connected to that at all. I didn't really understand.
So the plane and the plane man and his son Anakin Skywalker.
The plane man and Anakin Skywalker Jr.
They're the plane man is the one who steals his cart.
Ah.
Yeah. The plane man gets out of the plane, lets his kid drive the plane, steals Mad Max's cart. And that's kind of the kickoff of the movie. And one of the things I really like about it is it did the same thing that last week's did, where it's like nothing's wasted. It's all kind of part of this story, but it doesn't make any sense until the end.
It just feels like a random oh, we're just
like
dropped
it's
in
like, oh,
Mad
why did we
Max
start at this
situation.
point? But this is a story
but
being told.
Even as just that, even if it hadn't had this payoff where we get the pilot, then we glove shit or whatever, it's still like it's just this cool oh, we're just dropped into Mad Max just in a situation.
Right.
He's got to get out of this,
but
and then
I love that
kick
it
off the
doesn't
story.
leave
But
it
it
at
does.
that. You know what I mean?
No, it comes back. Yeah,
and that's the purpose.
So
the purpose is they're telling this story. But yeah,
right. Yeah, it's a story.
It is a story. He told a story.
This movie a story.
This
story a movie.
My life a movie, dude.
Yo, my life a story, bro.
Yo, my life Mad Max beyond Thunderdome, dude.
Like, ooh. But yeah, so this, he finds some boots, takes them, and also a dog whistle, and then he just treks his way down to Bartertown.
Where is Bartertown?
I don't know, the desert. I mean, Australia, the wasteland.
That's what I was going. That's what I was trying to get you to say. Was Australia
the wasteland? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, this is Australia. Once again, this is just a movie about what life is like in Australia.
I have an Australian friend, so I can say that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel comfortable making these jokes about Australia being a piece of shit because I know any Australian person, well, it's true, but also any Australian person is just gonna laugh that off. Right. Like, they're just fun-loving guys, all of them.
Right.
They're just,
well, they don't all love fun, but they,
I mean, I think everyone loves.
They are all guys. Weirdly enough, they're all men. There's no women in Australia. I don't know how they keep procreating.
But I think everyone pretty much loves fun.
That's not true.
Right?
I know some people who makes it
fun. I don't think that's
Josh
possible.
hates fun.
No, surely not.
Yeah, ask him.
Hey Josh,
what's your opinion on fun?
Hey Josh, if you're listening to this,
I hate it.
Oh, I don't quite like. Always, I respect it, but it's not really for me. Yeah.
So what happens when Mad Max gets to Bartertown?
He goes to barter. He barters, I guess. He learns.
Well, he's
about
looking for Gyro Captain guy.
Yeah, he's looking for Gyro Captain and his camels and stuff and car and whatever. And he meets Tina Turner, and she's got a dude playing saxophone for her, and another guy that looks like the Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, he does, except for he's got one little tuft of hair.
Right. But yeah, Tina Turner is like the leader of Bartertown. It runs on pig shit. Pig shit fumes, methane. Methane gas is what powers this town,
which is
awesome. It's so stupid, but it's so cool.
But it's also a super creative idea,
right? Yeah,
it's dumb, but it makes sense, and it's like scientifically, like, yeah, I guess you could theoretically do that, and like, there's a lot of
if there's a lot of pigs and a lot of pig shit,
you could make methane, and then you could power a town from it.
Yeah, which is awesome. This little like post-apocalyptic, apocalypse, what they call it later. We'll get there. Yeah, it could easily power this little shit village.
Right, which is.
But then I think this is when I stepped out to take a piss, and this is when all the setup for the movie happened.
The setup for the next like half hour of the movie happens. So
some plan happens.
Tina Turner, who runs the town, is upset because there's a man there called Master Blaster.
Right. Well, it's two men.
It's two men. I was getting there. But they refer to it like it's one man.
Right. It's just one guy. It's symbiotic. It's like Venom. Right. They're like Venom, basically.
It's two men. It's Master, who's a little person who's really smart, and Master, Blaster,
he's little Clint Eastwood,
wears a helmet. And is the bronze, like he's the muscle of the relationship. That's him on
the screen if you're watching the video.
He's this big, strong man. Well, actually, what's on the screen now is what you missed. So they recruit Mel Gibson because Mel Gibson's trying to get his camels. They say, you do have something to barter and you do have something to trade, because that's the point of Bartertown.
Right.
It's your actions. Like, we want you to take the brawn down, so take Blaster down, but leave the brain, Master, alive. And so he goes to like start some recruitment. And so he goes down to work in the pigs, And while he's working in the pigs, like he's working down there, whatever, some dynamite is on his car that he wants to get back. And the master,
right? Because that's just the thing he does. He just rigs
booby
his
traps
car
his car, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, you need to detonate it so we can drive this car." And
he said, "Nuh-uh."
And he says,
"I don't wanna."
He says no, but then he finally gets convinced to say yes by Master. And so he does it, but when he does it, he sets off an alarm on his car, which makes Blaster freak out because he doesn't like the loud noise, which I didn't understand, but now I get it.
Right.
It makes him like freak out. He's like Venom. He's hitting himself in the head, whatever. Like he's freaking out at the loud noise. So he cuts the thing off. He blows the dog whistle that he had earlier. He blows it, and it still makes him freak out. So he puts it in his pocket, and he's like, "This will come in handy later." When he gets back up to Anime Bullock, aka Tina Turner, aka Auntie what?
Right.
Auntie Goldie?
Auntie Entity?
Auntie Entity. Yeah, Auntie.
Yeah, rest in peace, Anime Bullock.
Dude. Yeah, Tina Turner.
Yeah,
she's
one of the last real ones.
He gets back up to her, and she's like, "Hey, we have this tradition here. It's called Thunderdome. And you will fight this man.
You will fight in the thunder. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
2 men enters, 1 man leaves, and everyone chants it repeatedly. But they're strapped with like bungee cords.
Oh yeah, they're hanging from these little bungee cords so they can just like bounce up and down.
So he challenges Blaster to this fight.
Yeah, and
that's you are back at this point, so you can.
Yeah, and then so they fight. They Thunderdome. It's the inspiration for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man cage match scene,
and it's great.
With my late great uncle Randy Savage, rest in peace.
And it's
him and Tina up there sipping gin.
Y'all aren't actually related because that's not his actual.
No, that's my uncle. Yeah, Randy and also it was my great uncle was a sound production assistant on this. Roger Savage. I caught him in the credits.
I remember vaguely. So my experience with this movie, my movie
of life.
My experience with this movie is I saw it a lot as a kid on like network TV because they cut it down, whatever. Sure, and so I had vague memories of the Thunderdome fight. And I thought going into this, I'm like, it's going to be really corny, it's going to be really cheesy, and it's not going to be whatever. But it's super fun. It's super corny when it first starts.
I mean, it is all those things you said it was going to be, but it's also awesome.
It's so cool, and it's well done.
Yeah, I mean, I remember saying this a bunch when actually watching it, which, pay $1, check out the Patreon, watch us holler. But
25 cents for a commentary track is nothing
for one of these. Yeah, in this economy, dude, come on, you can't even get a soda for 25 cents.
They can listen to the podcast for free, but I get it. Pay the 25 cents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a soda. But yeah, no, it's sick. They're just bouncing around, beating the shit out of each other. And I want actual wrestling to be like that. Like I want them to do cage matches in like the WWE where they're just hanging from bungee cords and just swinging around, just kick shit in each other,
This is also the moment where I think the realization that this is a Sam Raimi movie set in. Yeah. And it's not. Don't mishear me. Like don't misconstrue this.
We made the Army of Darkness comparison pretty early on.
Well, it looked like Army of Darkness.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't compare it so much until this scene.
To feel like a Sam Raimi movie.
Right.
There's specifically one scene where during the fight, Mad Max sees the whistle that
right. Yeah. Well, he the whole time he's trying to get the whistle out, and then he drops it, and he's like fumbling around with it, and he sees it on the ground. There's this like comical like lens flare shine to it. It's cartoonish and it's ridiculous, and it looks like something that would be in a Sam.
And
like
it
zooms
hits
in on it.
It's
too.
like a snap zoom, and it goes yeah. Which feels so much like something Sam Raimi would have done, not just in the Spider-Man movies, but in any of the Evil Dead movies, in Ash Versus, in Darkman. Like it's such a Sam Raimi shot.
Wizard of Oz prequel he did with James Franco.
Oz the Great and Powerful, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness,
Midness of Midniverse.
But yeah, and this is where that comparison really began. We're gonna probably reference that more throughout, just because it does.
Sure.
Like even down to Mel Gibson is acting like Bruce Campbell in the Evil Dead movies.
Right. I mean, I don't know that I would go that far. He does certainly look like him in certain scenes.
Well, but I think it's like
sure.
the protagonist who's kind of accidentally getting himself into these situations where he has to be the hero is very Bruce Campbell Evil Dead. Which, not that wasn't a thing before, but it's just that it happened in this movie.
Right.
With that tone.
I feel like
it's the tone, for sure.
Army of Darkness anyways. But yeah.
Oh, well, it happens in Evil Dead 2 as well. I mean, it's the plot of the first Evil Dead.
I guess the first one, kind of, but it's that's more just like, you know, kind of just like a slasher movie where he's the one that survives, and he's the one that
survives, but he also, defeats.
He is also the hero. Yeah,
he becomes the hero, well, and then especially Evil Dead 2 because he makes
final girl. Evil Dead 2 more so. Yeah.
But anyway, not the point.
Whatever. This isn't about Evil Dead. Actually, this is about Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome.
The tone of this is so great.
Hey, watch your tone, man.
And I understand a lot of people don't like this. It's their least favorite Mad Max movie.
They're stupid.
This is my favorite kind of movie. Mm-hmm. It's a movie that has a fairly serious premise.
Oh, look, it's the big comical mallet.
Yeah, it has a fairly serious premise with goofy concepts, but doesn't take itself too seriously. And it's very rare that a movie rides that line perfectly. I think pretty much any Sam Raimi movie does it very well. I'm trying to think of some others that do it, like that. I would argue that
they don't do it like that,
I would argue that the first of the new Planet of the Apes movies kind of hits that. It's like a goofy premise,
kind of
weird concept, doesn't take itself too seriously, but takes itself seriously enough. This is an example of that. Star Wars is a great example of that.
Star Wars for sure. I'd say maybe the newer legendary Gojira movies.
Yes, after the first one. Anything after the first one.
Anything after the first one where it's just,
and so
just full Nolan.
It's rare to get those, and this is that. The MCU Spider-Man movies, I think, do that well. Really, the MCU as a whole kind of did that well for a while.
For a bit there, yeah.
For 15 years. Just
for a good 15 years, good decade and a half.
But it's rare to get something like that, but it's my favorite tone for a movie, and this movie does it perfectly, as exhibited in the cage match between
which, if you're watching the video instead of just the podcast on YouTube,
you're watching it
more
currently.
People seem to do. Check out the video, you can see the cage match. It's happening there,
and then it goes just a little over the edge.
It gets
Would you like to say the reveal of who?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about the cage match a bit just because it's happening. But they're fighting out for a while. Mad Max is getting his ass kicked, and then at some point they get weapons and use them, and Mad Max has the giant comical mallet, and he bops it into a Blaster. This is Blaster because it's the big one. And just fucking rings his bell. Like, I mean, he's out. He's on the floor. He hits him again, I think, and knocks the helmet off. And he's getting ready to finish it. And it pans to his face, and it's a man with Down syndrome. There's not really a way to sugarcoat that or put it any other way. It's the man has Down syndrome.
And it's like,
and Mad Max.
It's such a weird reveal.
It's
a reveal.
Because both of us, if you pay that 25 cents, really a full $1 to get the full holler, but 25 cents for a quarter of a holler, you can watch us be speechless.
Legitimately speechless,
legitimately dumbfounded.
And I've seen this movie before. I guess I forgot it. I don't know, dude.
Right. It's probably something you just maybe didn't register it as a kid.
Yeah,
it's just
I was like, he's silly looking. He's Sloth from the Goonies.
Right. It's like Sloth from the Goonies. Okay, that's silly.
It's
a man with Down, and Mad Max
he knows
he's not gonna he knows he's not gonna kill him. He's like this is, and just to lay the point on harder, fucking little mini Clint Eastwood master comes out, and he's like no, please don't kill him. He has Down syndrome. He has the brain of a child. He
does say that. He says he has the brain of a child. It's very the animal caretaker from Return of the Jedi.
Right.
The one who like runs out and he's crying over his animal, but this is a man crying. I'm assuming they're related somehow.
Yeah,
that's just my headcanon. They never say that, but it's like his grandson or his son or something.
Right. Something, whatever. Either way, surrogate father type to this mentally challenged.
And so Max refuses to kill him, which is
Max naturally isn't going to kill him. All the people are, insane, bloodthirsty wastelanders, so they're chanting,
No, they were on Max's side.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were on Max's side. Once the helmet came off and Max refused to kill him, they were on his side until
but then I guess it was just Tina Turner's bitch made, or
she jumps down and she's like, "I made the rules." Like,
yeah, right.
Because they kill him, and they kill him, and then everybody's Max tries to leave, and then everybody's like, 1 may, 2 enter, 1 leave, 2 enter, 1 leave, and she comes down. And she's like, "I made the rules, and he didn't follow them." What's the other chant they do?
There was the one. It was stupid. It was the one that led to him getting fucking gulagged, which is just him riding away on a horse.
It was like
it was you beat the deal, get the wheel.
Yeah, it was like, ignore the deal, get the wheel.
Yeah, I think it was specifically beat. Like they said beat. It didn't make sense. It was stupid, but yeah, it was beat the deal, get the wheel. Where if you don't follow the Thunderdome rules, you get.
If you don't follow any rules, I think.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
probably would be my assumption.
Right, probably. Yeah, I guess I kind of just assumed Thunderdome was the default. If you don't follow rules, you're just
Thunderdome is where you go if
you're challenged.
If you want to fight with somebody, you go to Thunderdome.
This is where Drake and Kendrick would be.
Right. But you do it to keep. They're doing it to keep from war.
Right.
Because they're like, war is what destroyed us, specifically the
war never
nuclear
changes.
kind.
But war never changes.
Right. I also love, there are so many things about this, and we'll talk about the aesthetic a little more later. I just love, there's his face on the screen, by the way, in case you wanted to see it.
Yeah, that was it. Check out the video podcast. See. Blaster.
I can't watch it.
He has Down syndrome. Yeah. Rest in peace, Blaster. Rest in peace.
I also love a nuclear war that doesn't destroy everything completely.
Yeah.
I love the surviving camps. Desert. I love I love it. It makes everything desert. It makes people weird, and it makes people like unsavory.
It makes this weird fucking tribe of children raised by other children.
But we're about to get there.
But we'll get there. We're almost there, in fact.
But it doesn't just obliterate everything and there's nothing, whatever. It's not Fallout. It's like
right. It's not just Fallout. Well, because in Fallout, it's the whole world is nuclear apocalypse. It's everything.
I'm assuming in this movie they just send nukes towards Australia.
Right. Do we ever know what the like we know it's nukes were dropped in Australia, but like was there like a big war? Like they said it briefly in the opening in the opening to 2, they talked about
there was a gas shortage. There was a war caused by the gas shortage,
right?
But they never say where the nukes were dropped specifically. They just say the
or
nukes
where
were dropped.
or where from. Right. Like was it just in Australia? Was it
It
like
was
you said?
America.
Was it other countries nuking? Yeah, did America just drop
America
nukes in
just
Australia?
nuked Australia because they have gas. I don't know.
They wanted to.
They just wanted to. And now everybody's back to normal by the point of this movie. And but anyway. So he gets the wheel. They spin the wheel, and it gives him the gulag. Which in this,
right? Well, he beat the deal. Spin the wheel.
In this is just they put him on backwards on a horse, and the horse is pulled by a little like thing of water because it's so thirsty.
Oh yeah. Well, you can lead a horse to water,
and then they spank it.
You can't make it not fall into a sand pit.
They spank it, and it just runs out into the desert.
It just hauls ass.
With Mad Max tied onto its back. And then it falls into a pit of sand and it gets never-ending storied.
Right. It does get never-ending storied by the Sarlacc pit, which is set up
sand.
Which is it's quicksand in a world made of sand.
Right. In a world made of sand, there's some potholes.
Right. I mean, look, in a world made of sand, some of it's going to be quick. You know what I'm saying?
Some of it's going to be slow though. Stay on the slow sand. It's also Dune.
Well, it is, yeah.
There's sand and Dune, and the Baron Harkonnen's in it.
Right. He kissed his nephew.
Right. He's
it's cool. It's uncle nephew stuff.
Right.
Stuff uncles do with their nephews.
He's
look, I'm aware of what wrestling is. It's just not something uncles do with their nephews.
The sand is drugs.
Is it?
In Dune.
Not in this.
Not in this, no.
Yeah.
No, but in Dune, the sand is drugs.
Good Dune reference. Yeah, good.
Baron Harkonnen in sand. But anyway, so he rides. He escapes. The horse gets eaten.
I think the horse is like dead before.
Yeah, the horse falls dead, and then it's falling in, and he escapes. And it was a real horse. Gets away.
For sure, yeah.
There's no way it was
the back half.
It was the most realistic looking fake animal I've ever seen in a movie. If it was fake,
for sure, George Miller just threw
a horse into the sand.
A horse into a pit of sand. But and also did the same later with a bunch of kids.
But that's not this movie's style.
It's not. That's true. This is the safe movie.
I wonder if it was a set. Like, I wonder if it was an actual set, and like they were just pulling the horse through this set on like a conveyor belt. Like they had him strapped to his arms.
That still feels insane
for sure. But at least it would have lived that way.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no way they just wasn't in real quicksand.
I was thinking like we said in this, it was just a dead horse that they just
maybe, but that doesn't even feel like this movie.
Right. No, it doesn't. Yeah, and I'm realizing that now because this movie was not the same level of insanity as the first two.
Right.
They were just
that would be Mad Max 1.
Beer and
taking half of a dead horse and tossing it into a sand pit as people are offset shoveling sand onto it, make it look like it's sinking. That's Mad Max 1, not Beyond Thunderdome. So Mad Max escapes. And he passes out, and then a lady finds him.
He passes out. He gets covered in sand,
and then blue.
He turns blue, then he gets found by the feral children tribe.
Yeah, well, it's a tribe of children, and they don't really reveal that it's a tribe of children.
I forgot about that because I'm seeing it on the screen now. They put a big head mask on
that
him
was
when they sent him out to the Gulag Desert. That was funny,
which is really what makes this movie. Not that scene. Not that scene.
But things like that, yeah.
Not that scene specifically, but like little moments where they just sell.
Right.
This is the post-apocalypse.
Yeah, this is just a thing.
The way the wasteland kids speak is one of those things that just sells
we'll get to that because I do really like that. Like it gets annoying, but
it's
really
very
like
annoying, but it's great. And there's so many.
So it gets discovered by this sand kid tribe.
Right.
Sorry, you keep talking about things you like.
Yeah.
You keep yapping.
The sand kid tribe.
Yeah. Oh, is it back to me? Okay. Yeah. Well, he gets discovered. They're living in this cool little like cliffside village.
Ewok village.
Very, very, very Ewok village. Yeah. I learned that there were Ewok movies. Comment down below. Did you guys know there were Ewok movies?
Comment down below. Do you guys want us to watch Ewok movies?
Do you want us to watch the Ewok movies? And maybe also the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Oh, that'd make a fun 3 movies.
Yeah. Right. That would be a good one. It wouldn't. It'd be horrible. That'd suck.
The Ewok movies aren't bad. But anyway.
Comment down below if you've seen the Ewok movies or if you knew they existed. But yeah, so they're in this Ewok village. It's these kids. They're mostly all like relatively young children, but then there's a couple that are like older, like, you know, teenagers, young adults.
I would say type, teenagers at
oldest. Still kids, but like, you know, older.
Right.
Able to have procreated, 16, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? But it's just this varying range of these little.
It's Neverland.
Kid. Yeah, it's these little Peter Pan post-apocalyptic Fallout kids, and they've got this prophecy about
a pilot, about
some great pilot that called Captain Walker, and that's who they think Mad Max is because he has a leather jacket.
And he's got the gray temples.
Yeah, and in this prophecy, there's like everyone before the bomb was. They all went off to you know this magical Neverland where they took the plane there, but all these kids got left behind, and you know the prophecy said Captain Walker was going to come back for them.
And they've
got a bunch of different.
What's the skyscraper called?
I think they call them high
scrapers.
scrapers.
Yeah.
And then the sky raft was the plane.
Right. And the city is called Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland, yes. that was the city.
Yeah,
that
and
this
it feels very much like, and I don't know, because later on it made me feel like, because the kids knew specific plane stuff, like they knew like the pilot calling whatever. It felt very much to
they knew
me
certain
like a
terms.
bunch of kids that were on a plane that
Right,
went
that
down when the nukes went
crashed at
off.
some point in this this post-apocalypse or
I don't know how they would have survived in
apocalypse.
that case. Could have been
Who
kids at the
knows?
airport when their parents left. But
Maybe.
why would their parents leave them
Yeah.
at the airport? I don't know that it really matters.
I don't know. The point is, it's some sort of unexplained but just
Or explained and we
seemingly
missed it.
depressing lore. It may be explained and we missed
But
it,
it's
or
super
explained
depressing.
poorly. But it's very depressing, just like this society of kids in the post-apocalypse, waiting for this this perfect prophecy that will never come, or will it? But we'll get there.
But we'll get there. Yeah, but it is.
It'll come for about 4 of them.
It's super sad, number one.
Yeah.
It's super interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a movie, and I guess this movie is really about that, but like a whole movie about that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a neat little. It's just such a neat little thing.
Right.
It's such a cool.
It is. It's a very cool and quirky, like just post-apocalyptic idea, like this just society of children that have created all this lore from like just like things
like
they
childhood
believed as
memories.
children. Childlike wonder, childhood memories that just evolved into this like this fucking structure of their society,
because they
like
never
it's
had
what their
anything else
society
to
is
base
built
it off.
on.
It's so interesting. And then Mad
And
Max comes in.
that one kid had the crucified teddy bear.
He did have a crucified teddy bear, or she, I don't know. The one kid had
Who
crab
knows? They're all
hair.
kids, right? Yeah, looked like a cartoon character. He was cool.
But Max comes in, and he's not
like
the person they think he is.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
Clearly.
He tells them, he's like, piss off. I'm not your fucking, I'm not Captain Walker. I just have a leather jacket and salt and pepper hair like him,
Right.
There's a lot of guys like that. But then something happens.
So at that point,
he throws the hat and it just gets caught by the wind, so all of them follow it.
Yeah, because they think he's like, oh, it's a sign, whatever. They go to the plane and then he just walks away.
Yeah, they all like line up on this plane that's just like sunken, half buried in the sand.
And at this point, there's like really two camps of kids left. There's the kids who still believe in Captain Walker, and there's the kids who don't. And the kids who don't are like, okay, we'll just stay here. This guy seems to know how to keep us alive. It'll be fine. And the other camp
this
is
guy
like,
at least is not a child,
right? The other camp is like, no, we're gonna go, and he's gonna save us, whatever.
Right.
And so
and he punches that one.
He punches the one chick in the face, and she's one of the ones who leaves. Right, and she takes a group of other kids with her, and they wander into the desert.
Yeah, she takes a couple, like 3, 4, 5 maybe kids, wanders off into the desert, and then Mad Max and a couple more go after them, and he saves them from the horse-eaten hole.
Right, saves them from the hole, except for one kid who does die to the
right. Yeah, one kid does not get saved, but
And as they're trying to get back. This is a longer chunk of the movie than we're really letting on that it is.
Yeah,
there's a lot of world building, establishing shots, whatever. A lot of
it is actually it's one of the cooler sequences.
It's for sure
just them just trekking through the desert.
But then they find that they see in the distance the lights from Bartertown that are being powered by pig poop. Right. I'll remind you.
the pig poop powered town.
They see the lights, and one of the kids says, "Is that Tomorrowland?" And Max says, "No, it's Bartertown."
Says, "No, that's shit town."
But it's the best chance we have at surviving. So they hop in the sewers.
Yeah, they go in through the sewers, and then pop out in the town and just just start a revolution.
Well, they pop out in the pig pen.
Yeah,
because there's a big pen underground of pigs.
Yeah, I don't know how well we described the world of Bartertown.
I don't think very well. There's the above ground
really
town where everybody trades
There's
stuff.
The above ground place. People trade a lot of. Looks like Tatooine.
It looks like
then there's the Thunderdome somewhere.
Jakku.
Right, it does, yeah. And then there's the underground where it's just filled with pigs.
It's nothing
and
but pigs
shit
just running around.
And slaves.
And slaves, yeah, pigs and slaves.
And so I guess they free the slaves there, maybe?
Well, this is where the big fight happens between
I know that. And I think the slaves were involved. At least the one guy.
The one guy
that Max talked to.
And they
so you can kind of presume that maybe all the slaves were out bucking, revolting, whatever.
Right. You'd think so.
Yeah, so that happens.
And this is where
that just
Max
happens.
He takes a
Rockatansky,
right.
I think.
He takes a train that's also a semi-truck.
Yeah.
It's a semi-truck, but they've replaced the wheels with train wheels and put it on a track.
It's a semi-truck cab that's like seemingly like a steam engine.
I would assume it runs on gas.
Right. Well, it's got like the. I feel like it had like a steam engine.
I don't think so. I think that was the reason for it being a big rig is because it's still gas powered, or at least very least methane powered.
Right, probably methane powered. Yeah,
they've probably converted all their vehicles to methane at this point.
Yeah, but either way, it's awesome. It's dragging behind these stack of little like
buildings.
Fucking aluminum cabins. It's like little, I don't know, whatever they are. There's some sort of like headquarters, the mine, the shit mine, right. You know. And they take off along this train track that just leads out into the desert, I guess. And this is the car chase to end the movie, of course.
Yeah, because it's Mad Max. You gotta end it with a car chase.
Yeah, Tina Turner and Anna Mae Auntie hops in her whatever, some sort of buggy. Bunch of other people got other sort of buggies. They're all just hauling ass and fucking shit up, crashing. And yeah, there's a cow print. The guy riding the cow print one gets killed instantly, so Max can have it, but he's also wearing cow print, like leather. It looks dope. Yep. He's matching his car.
But the guy who was driving it was actually wearing cow print.
Right. Yes. Is that not what I said?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Max wearing leather and that made it cow print.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that also. But yeah, no, the guy that Max kills to steal his car was wearing cow print. Yeah. And it's dope. He's fitted.
And there's no real way to describe the car chase. It's
no, because it's kind of just a car chase.
It's chaotic and interesting, but not nearly as chaotic and interesting as the car chases are in the first two movies.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have that feeling that the other one has, where it's like, oh, this feels real because it is
right.
Like this.
I never at any point in this movie feel like someone's actually gonna die in real life.
I don't feel fear for this random unpaid stunt person that's gonna get like brutally fucking maimed doing this.
But it's still weird and interesting and chaotic. It's still crazy.
Weird and chaotic and cool, like fun stuff happens.
At one point, a very short
some guy gets shot in the leg.
Yeah, at one point, a very short man is on like a stick on the side of the car and is like pulling up his legs to avoid obstacles.
Right.
That's super cool. Like there's a lot of little cool, interesting moments.
There's that guy that we never talked about who's he's bald and he's got a little
stick head behind him. Yeah, that's the one who's pulling up his legs.
Yeah.
There's lots of little things like that. You could tell the best way I can describe this movie, if you've never seen the original run of Mad Max movies and have only seen Fury Road, this movie feels a lot like a precursor to Fury Road. In the way this scene feels, and really the rest of the movie and the lore and the way the world works, that kind of stuff. But it's also not as exciting as the first one. It's better produced, it's better shot, it's better whatever. But those first two movies had this just ultimately...
It's that raw...
Someone's gonna die.
Yeah, untamed, chaotic energy where it's like, this is George Miller and a bunch of his goons in the desert legitimately risking their lives.
Right.
Well, not George Miller's lives, but these unpaid extras' lives.
All for my entertainment.
Yeah, just for me.
For me.
Just so I can watch
but this
fucking
one,
Mel Gibson do a shitty Australian accent and
has
get
a
mad.
different quality. And it's one that I love equally.
Right, which is stupid B-movie script.
Goofy, weird,
just ridiculous,
doesn't take itself
concept.
too seriously, but takes itself just seriously enough.
Serious enough that you're invested.
Yes,
you know?
And that's how this infight comes across. If you like the
yeah, no, I love that
if
one.
you like the end battle from Army of Darkness, where it's like all the goofy little skeletons walking around and Ash is just firing like just fireballs at them, you will like the end of this movie, and you'll like this whole movie because
you'll like the whole film. Yeah, you'll like this movie. A movie.
But it's just different. I see why people who are huge fans of the first two don't like this one.
Yeah, because they're stupid, pretentious.
Well,
nerds,
because it's so much different tonally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, I found out recently people who don't like the first two also don't like Fury Road, which is silly. But this one and Fury Road feel a whole lot more similar. But Fury Road, I think, is probably better. It's less interesting and less fun. Right. Nobody with Down syndrome gets shot with arrows in the side.
That's true.
There's nobody with Down syndrome in Fury Road at all.
That's true.
So,
it's true.
But I don't know. This final fight, I love and hate it because I wish it had more of that chaotic, unhinged.
Yeah.
Anybody could die at any moment.
I wish it was more dangerous, but there were a couple cool. There was the funny one where the kids sawed off the thing that the fucking crowbar guy was hanging from, and he fell. That was funny.
Right.
There's a couple different shots of cars getting crushed and people getting thrown. But
there's one specifically where a car turns onto the train track and then the big rig train hits
the one
it.
Crowbar guy was driving. Yeah, and he hangs on to the front.
It explodes and he hangs onto the front covered in soot. Yeah, that's a fun one.
Awesome.
And so they wind up escaping. And they find the helicopter pilot from earlier in the movie.
Yeah, well, it's at the end of the track. Anakin Skywalker's there with a blick, and he's like, "Stop!"
Oh, we didn't talk about the gun earlier, which has no semblance to the plot. No, it's later on. Never mind. We'll save it. Anyway,
okay, we'll get there because I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so this kid's like, what does he say? He says, "Use all's in danger."
It's something funny. It's like yeah, you're. It's use all is in danger. Some
this is the end.
Thing,
this you're just gonna be swimming.
It's something I remember. It comes back when he says it to his
dad.
Anyway,
so he's like, "You're all gonna die." Oh wait, we're all gonna die.
Right. We're all gonna die.
And then he runs down into his little hole.
This cool little like underground place him and his dad were living. It's like he gets in the trunk of a car that then leads down a ladder into this like cave underground.
Little underground cave.
It's dope.
And then Mad Max gets down there. This is the guy he's been looking for the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. It's the man. He stole his camels.
He stole his basket, whatever, and his monkey, but not his boots
and his car.
Right? Not his boots because that monkey let his dog whistle go. But anyway, the guy. He says
the pilot from the
last movie. He says, "Oh, your life just got saved because I would kill you otherwise. You have a plane. Let's go." So they get in the plane and they're driving it, and they come towards a cliff.
Yeah.
So he does a quick little Yui in the plane.
She flips the quickest Yui because I mean it's this like short little plane. It's so silly.
Yeah, looking. And then a car comes up like they're gonna die. So but one of the other kids gets out of the car. One of the little like feral kids, whatever, gets out of the car and they're like, "Oh, welcome back," whatever. And he's talking to the pilot and he's like, "Hey, you've got to go." Pilot's like, "Hey, we can't. There's not enough runway." And he says it twice.
Right, which, spoiler alert, there is.
He says it twice. He says, "There's not enough runway." And Max goes, "No, you got to go." And he goes, "The runway." there's not enough.
He goes, I'll make you enough runway.
Yeah, and then Max says, I'll make you enough.
Like, there'll be enough runway when I'm through with them.
I will make you enough runway. So he gets in this big dune buggy that the one kid was driving, and literally drives it straight into the first car of this.
Straight into the first car and just launches it.
Yeah, and he's so out, cool. Whatever. The plane takes off. Everybody's escaping. It's super exciting. Tina Turner gets out, Anime Bullock, and she looks at him, and she says, "What a pair we make." Come on, desert soldier, and then she just drives away.
Yeah, she calls him Raggedy Man.
Raggedy Man. She calls him
that twice. That's good. Yeah. And then she just leaves him there in the desert with his sick ass cloak and leather jacket.
And so then we get like the Shining type drone footage ending of a destroyed city. I'm assuming it's a miniature, probably. How else would you destroy Sydney?
It was Sydney. We see the Sydney Opera
Which maybe
House,
that's just what it looks like. I don't know. I haven't been in a while.
Maybe. You been there before?
No. And then it cuts to a voiceover, and one of the girls from this little tribe. So I guess they did go back for the rest of the kids. This one little girl from the tribe is telling this story of the man who helped them escape, the man who got them to safety, and
it's the classic Mad Max voiceover ending,
right? Which they only did in two of the four movies.
They did whatever. I haven't seen Fury Road. They did it in the last one.
I think they do it in Fury Road too, but I can't remember.
Probably whatever. I feel like did they not do it in the first one?
No, they didn't do it in the first one.
Some sort of. No, it just ended abruptly.
It ended
the first
very abruptly. The second one started with the voiceover and then ended with the voiceover. This one just ended with the voiceover. But she's like, he saved us, he brought us here, and now we have a city where we can live.
It's showing all that, and then it's showing this destroyed city, but whatever.
And it's also like it's supposed to be kind of hopeful. Like it's supposed to be like the kids are going to rebuild and they're going to create.
They found their Tomorrowland. They did it. Mad Max helped them.
And through like the purity of this child mindset, they're going to be able to rebuild or whatever.
Right, and then it's Mad Max walking off into the sunset with his cool little leather jacket and
with his shoulder pad, which is another thing that the painting of the captain had, which is super confusing.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one Jesus painting where they were all standing on his shoulders.
I don't know where that. Maybe it was like maybe he was just a cop that all the kids saw as a kid.
It could be that, because the Mad Max fit is just a cop uniform in this.
Maybe these kids saw Max as a kid.
Maybe it was Max. Yeah, maybe it was
responded to the plane crash. I don't know.
But maybe it's just some sort of lore built about Max in this wasteland where he's just
they've just passed down this story.
Yeah, like he's just saved so many people on all these little anthological adventures.
Yeah. But the kid's story is sad. More so than the Down syndrome guy is also super sad.
That one,
because he's just been being
kid one. It's got this sort of like the kid one. It's got this like the fact that you don't know
the ambiguity.
What this? Damn, what the shit is that thing?
The
weird ass beetle.
The ambiguity of it really kind of sells it, I think.
Right. For sure, yeah.
Like it's just very ambiguous. It's very strange. It's
super vague. Like you don't really know. It just feels like depressing. Like these kids were left behind and had to raise themselves.
That's the biggest thing is like even not knowing. And I don't know anything about it. And maybe we did just miss it, but I don't think so.
Could have. Entirely possible.
And it's probably explained in some sort of like comic book, whatever, book, whatever.
Sure. Whatever, just an interview with George Miller.
Right.
Who cares?
I don't care about that. But in the movie, it doesn't seem like it's presented. And that makes it better.
It works.
Because it makes it that much more like weird and interesting and what is happening and where did their parents go?
And that feels like what the apocalypse, even this relatively recent apocalypse in this universe, which we don't really know how long it's been.
It's probably been like I'm assuming it's happening in real time.
What do you
like? I'm assuming it's real time.
They're dropping the bombs right now.
No, I mean in the movie.
Oh, you mean like when
started in 79? We're 6 years in.
Right.
That's my assumption.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can feel that, I
But I
guess.
don't know that. But that would be my assumption.
But either way, it feels like something that would exist in this apocalyptic world where it's like just this vague remnant of society that was founded on just surviving children, and you don't really know what happened, but it's like you can see little bits, and you can kind of piece
right.
or
They
try and
call
piece
it,
it
what do they call the
together. It's fun.
apocalypse?
It's super interesting. It's just the
The
poxlips, I think.
apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's super cool. They've got all these silly little kid terms that have just become the norm in their language. Like
right.
it's
Yeah. Like you know, if Mel
wounded.
Gibson came out with a plate of noodles with a meatball in the middle, they'd call it paschetti.
They'd call it paschetti.
Like,
Yeah,
they'd be like,
for
"Oh,"
sure, for
and in a
sure.
full adult, like, accent voice, they go,
Right, like,
"Oh,
oh,
thank you,
you brought
sir, for this
paschetti.
plate of paschetti." And
Right.
that's a super creative idea. I don't know. I love that aspect. I love the ending. Legitimately, this is a hot take for sure, but I think you're gonna agree with me because you've already said it.
Probably.
This is my favorite of the first 3 movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I really loved the second
The second one's
one
great. Don't get
for
me
different
wrong. For
reasons.
drastically different reasons. This one I think
Yeah,
is way more
this one I think
fun.
this one it appeals more to
Our
me, which
specific
is
brain rot,
yeah,
yes. We share
which is
one
liking
mind.
stupid. Right, we are the same person, and we like stupid,
We
corny
do. We
Sam Raimi
love
schlock.
stupid
Like,
stuff.
I mean, why
We're
wouldn't
idiots.
you? It's
Don't
awesome.
mishear us.
We're
We
dumb.
think
We're
this is
so
the best Mad
goddamn
Max
dumb
movie. We're
because we're
idiots.
goddamn
But
dumb.
it's also so much fun. And there's so
Yeah.
many quirky little weird things. I was saying when we were watching it, like, I wish there were more movies like that. Like, I wish they were
Right.
still
They don't make
making
movies
movies
like
like
this
this
anymore.
that weren't
Yeah.
just like pretentious nonsense. Because I feel like all the stuff that happens
Right.
in this, they'd put in like an A24 movie, but
For
I wouldn't want
sure.
to watch it
Yeah.
because it's pretentious
But
nonsense.
it would be like, yeah, it wouldn't have that same genuine feeling because they'd be forcing it, you
Right.
know.
Like Bo is afraid or whatever, I'm sure, but they'd make all this stuff
Right,
and they'd be like, "You're
right.
supposed to interpret your own ending." And it's like, no, they made it to the city. You know what I
No,
mean?
they got there. I saw Sydney. It was destroyed, and they pulled up in the plane. The gyro captain, who wasn't a gyro captain, this one he was just a normal captain.
Was Max mad the whole time?
Was he really mad? How mad was he?
But yeah, like, I love this.
Yeah, this movie a movie. If you don't like this movie, you suck.
So do you think this movie holds up?
Bitch. Yeah. Not in I mean, not in the way not like the way a movie would hold up,
Right.
but the way a story would
Not in the
hold
way a
up,
movie would hold
you
up, but in the
know?
way Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome would hold up, you know?
Right. No, but like what I'm saying, like as a movie, it doesn't really I mean, as a movie it kind of holds up,
The
but
pacing's
more
great.
so as yeah, as a concept and as an idea and as a story, I think it really holds
See,
up.
I definitely agree with you. I also think it's probably the best paced of the 3 because the first one was horribly paced, which it wasn't
Yeah,
horrible, but it was
the second one's pacing is fine. I'd say
it's
it's about the same
fine.
as
I don't think that
this
this
one.
one's it's snappy.
There's something to it. Yeah, it really does a good job
Every time you
of
start to get bored, something re-engages you. Because
yeah.
we've sat through so many movies where we'll just start talking about nonsense, nothingness, and then bam, the movie pulls
Mhm.
us back in. And we didn't have to do that with this one.
Right.
Not to say that other movies haven't done it. I think
Yeah.
probably with Mad Max 2, there was an aspect of that. Not
Mhm.
not as bad as the first one. The
Oh,
special
for sure. I mean, the
effects
first one was
hold up great.
right.
Not a
Yeah,
moment in
yeah.
this where I'm like, "That looks fake." It feels fake
Right.
because it's Hollywood produced, whatever, but it never
Yeah.
looks fake. The sets look
Mhm.
great, the lighting
So
is
yeah,
great.
the fighting outside of the which I guess there really wasn't
There was,
much
like,
of other
one
than that
fight
one
outside of
scene.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, outside of the Thunder and the Thunderdome fighting is so cool and silly that it
Even though it's
makes up for
goofy,
any
yeah.
it's like it's stupid and dumb, but it's like they're fucking like how is that not gonna be dumb? They're bouncing around
Right.
on fucking
They
bungee
almost were
cords.
like, "Oh, we can't get a good fight choreographer. Let's just."
Let's just bounce around on bungee cord. What if we just have this big guy take Mel Gibson's stunt double and just fucking bash him
Right.
around for a bit? Like
But yeah, I think this one really does hold up. I think a modern audience who's never seen a Mad Max movie could pop this on and have a good time regardless of what franchise it's from. I think there's an aspect of this that does really hold up.
For sure. Depends on the modern audience, Some...
Sure.
I don't know.
It was perfect for me.
Modern audiences like us, yeah.
It was perfect for me.
People that like the exact kind of movies we like, for sure. This movie is...
It's just us. What's the other question we do? Right. I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Would you recommend... Who would you
recommend? Would you recommend this movie to a friend? Probably. Yeah, I'd sit down with a group of people and watch this in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
This is actually probably on my short list of I'm trying to get people into weird B movies.
Right.
Popping this one. And not that this is even a B movie. Like this is a normal, franchise
film.
But
it feels like a B. It's a B movie script that is a Mad Max was thrown into it.
Which I guess all of the Mad Max movies started as B movies and they just kind of become cult classics.
Sure.
But yeah, this has moved its way up on my list, along with Daddy's Home 2, which also starring Mel Gibson.
He drains the lizard in that.
But yeah, I really liked this one. If you've never seen a Mad Max movie before, I would recommend watching 2, 3, and Fury Road. From my perspective, you could probably skip 1,
right?
Though I do still enjoy it.
It's all right. Maybe watch just like the tail 30 minutes of one.
Watch a clip to like best kills. On YouTube.
Yeah, watch just like a car stunt compilation from the first one.
But
and then go straight into
watch them all with the understanding that they all feel so much different from one another. Which is a little refreshing, but we don't have time. We'll get into that next week. We'll talk about that on the next episode. Next week we're gonna watch Fury Road, Mad Max.
Well, you're a Mad Max. For you. Send this to someone who's mad. Send this to someone named Max.
Oh, well, how have we not done that yet?
I don't know. We're
literally just scroll through, search Max in your contacts, and send this to them,
or just search Max on like Facebook or Instagram and just send it to whoever pops up first.
If you made this all the way through this podcast on whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, whatever. iTunes,
thumbs up.
Yeah, go ahead and follow the podcast. Consider subscribing. Turn on the bell.
We would encourage rating us 5 stars, but if you want to rate us 1 or 2 or 3, whatever,
be honest. We don't want you to lie. Be honest. Also, if you enjoyed this, we do have a Patreon where we do full-length commentary tracks of all the movies we watch, so you can watch the movie along with us. We know you don't have any friends, so you can watch with us. It's $1, which makes it 25 cents per episode.
It's just $1. If 20 in this economy,
if 20 people subscribe to the Patreon, 20. If 20 people subscribe to the Patreon, I can quit my job. I make $20 a month at my job.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
In this economy,
$20. That's why I'm wearing this hard Walmart.
That's why you're rocking the Walmart shirt.
All right, we'll see you guys next time on Semi Pro. Thanks for watching again. Next week we'll see you for Mad Max Fury Road.
For you.